Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Irma Mast. If you have been following me for a while, welcome back. I'm also glad you're here joining me again. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe and put on your notification bell to get notified when I upload more videos. I usually upload Wednesdays whenever I have one, and sometimes I know bonus Saturdays. So you want to get notified for that, be sure to click join. And yeah, I'm going to be talking about some of the opposites. I made it the last video that I had. I talked about some of the hardest parts of living the Amish, and so I wanted to flip that. With every negative, there is something positive, and it is the positive of this that outweighs the negative of those challenges that made me still do it, made me still want to change, made me leave and want to leave, and it makes it 200% worth leaving. And so for some of you that think those are really challenging, it is totally possible, and the freedom that it brings to go through that and to come on the other side of it is totally worth it. So I wanted to break it down, and if you have any questions, I will be doing a Q&A sometime, so feel free to comment below or find me on Facebook or Instagram and ask questions. I do have some questions, but I think I'll wait for that, and let's just get into it. The first thing that I had said was the hardest things about living the Amish is like fear of relationships and what will happen with my family. And if you want to listen to those, you can find them on my Amish related playlist. I will see if I can put them in the cards above or whatever. I haven't figured out that yet. So if I can figure it out, I'll put it there. If not, you can find it on my channel. I don't have that many videos just yet. But the blessing of that is it truly comes out who your family is. I believe family isn't always biological family. And so just because I was part of that family, I felt, I belonged, or I was a sense of feeling like that's my family. Coming out who I truly am brings out who my true family is. And so as far as my family relationships, I actually have healthier relationships, because even if they don't agree, and even if I don't agree with them, the truth is out, and the truth is what sets you free. The truth is what builds relationships. And if they don't like that, that's fine, but the truth is what builds true relationships, and that is what I wanted. That is what I'm looking for. And so I actually have healthier relationships with my family. So to me, all thumbs up, totally worth it. The other thing was crisis of belief. What do I really believe? And it was challenging, but I think it's something that we all need to come to. And I love that. I love that I had to search the Bible instead of following tradition. Good, 200%. And I know what I believe. I'm much more secure. I have my foundation of my beliefs is much more solid. And so very, very glad that I changed. Changing dress. One of the biggest things is the freedom to express and find myself in my own style, like what I dislike. There are no boxes around me of what I can wear and can't wear. So what I can and can't have, and so there's a freedom to discover my own type of beauty, to try new things, to and I can link it below. They're not sponsoring or anything, but the liveyourtruth.com/free offer is a program by Carol Tuttle that helped really change my life, and in finding what I like to wear and finding my truth, but just having the freedom to discover what did God make me to like. I have always liked yellow, and I have always liked burgundy red, but those two are colors that you almost didn't wear. And so the Amish wear some types of red, but not the really deep burgundy that I really like. And it's the color of my curtains. They look kind of orange in here, but they are a deep red. And we didn't wear yellow. And so now, I wear yellow, and I think about it. I don't take it for granted that I have a choice. And I think just finding that freedom, that who did God make me as a unique human being? He made me to like some things. Some people won't like yellow. For some people, it's another color or another style or another fabrics or whatever. And now I have the freedom to discover, who did God make me to be? Who am I actually? What is my style? What do I like? What don't I like? So that in itself is 100% worth leaving, getting out of that box of having to wear a certain thing or not being allowed to wear a certain thing. And is there's so much freedom. The amount of contact with people. On the positive side and on the flip side of that is I have so many friends. I was always one to make friends really easily with people, and so I was always one to make friends with people very easily, and so I had a lot of friends, but the reality of it came out that some of them weren't true friends, and so those I don't really have contact with anymore, but there are still some that I do. But having social media and contacts and texts and calls allows me to have much more friends and contacts, and while it can be overwhelming and while that is all challenging sometimes for me, that is also very much a blessing. Just say for group texts, I am in I don't know how many group texts, from church small groups, from business or friendship groups. Like, I have a lot of group texts, and it just gives me a sense of belonging, and those are the friends that are true friends. And so I guess for me, it definitely outweighs the challenges. It is still challenging, but as I said, it still outweighs the challenges. Being excommunicated, that was very difficult, and I still get challenged every now and then. But facing the reality of what my church family believed, and how much of the acceptance that the reason they accepted me was because of my performance, how I dressed, how I did things. And so actually facing that and realizing that isn't true Christian family. Being excommunicated isn't what a true Christian family does. And so yes, it was hard being excommunicated, going through that. Now I don't really think about it that much. But on the other side of it, I realized that it wasn't my true family, because I felt led and I had very clear that I knew it was from God that I was supposed to leave. And the fact that they don't support me in following my conviction, what God tells me to do, it's just not who I need the most to be in my life, in my spiritual walk. So very much worth it. I don't regret it at all. The fact that they excommunicated me, I did my part. When I left, I told them I was a member of another church and all that. It lies on their shoulders. Whatever they did lies on their shoulders. And then the opposite of like the pressure of wearing makeup and having hair done in a certain way, was challenging for a while. That isn't something that I have really dealt with too much lately. But on the other side of it, I can find, like, try new things, and I feel like wearing makeup and that type of thing, I don't feel like I have to. So in a sense, coming from a background where we didn't had its own way of being really good, like, I don't feel like I have to be beautiful, to be who God, like, just to have my natural beauty. But on the other side, I love that I can try new things. I love that I can enhance my beauty if I want to. I can choose to have my hair done but even though I don't often really style it much, I have the freedom to. And same with wearing makeup. It was hard, kind of, the pressure of how you should have it done, which that was very similar to the pressure in the Amish culture where you had to wear a covering, you had to have it done a certain way. It was just, there's much more variety to it, but now I have the freedom. I don't have to, but I have the freedom to enhance how God made me, and to just enhance what God made me, the way God made me to be. And so if I want to wear makeup to enhance my beauty, that's fine, but I don't have to. And so just the freedom to do that with how God made me is a freedom and a blessing. And again, I wouldn't change it to not being allowed to. Definitely worth the having left and having getting out of that. And so, and the other thing that with the dress thing and even the wearing makeup and all that, I think I had an identity that I formed with being Amish. Like, my identity was Amish. My identity was looking like the others. And that actually isn't the true identity, is how God made us. I think the only identity that we should have is our identity in Christ. And that comes from, who did God make me as a unique individual human being? not a certain way of dressing, not a certain, it's, my identity should be in who he says I am. And that is a work in progress. That is not something I have down pat at all. But my identity was in how I dressed. And so when I left, I didn't have a sense of identity. Like, who am I? And then I got excommunicated. I was like, who am I really? My identity was completely in how I dressed and what other people thought and whatever. And so having that, like, now I know it doesn't matter who passes away, it doesn't matter who comes in my life. Like, I know that my identity is in Christ, in who he says I am, and that's it. It's not in a certain way I dress. There are different things that play in. My style kind of helps with my identity if I find my own style like that. But that in its, I could dress a completely different way and it wouldn't throw my identity like it did. And so just being able to find my identity and find who I am in Christ, I have much more of a solid foundation of myself, my beliefs, and my relationships with anyone. And so that way, even if I do get tried now, or if I do get challenged by anyone, I know what I believe. And so I'm not nearly thrown or nearly just much more stable. And so those are kind of the opposites. The freedom that I have, the to live with Christ, and to be surrounded by like-minded people, and not by people that, to find my identity in God, and being true to myself, and then having the people in my life that support that, is a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous blessing. Nothing can change that. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully it was interesting. Hopefully it was encouraging. And I will see you next time.